So I just came across this helpful guide from Rob about helping your content show up in AI overviews. And a couple of the things here are pretty obvious and hopefully things we're all already doing. And one of the things that Rob specifically talks about here is structured data. Having structured data is something that I've been hearing helps with showing up in AI overviews and even in some of the LLMs a lot. Um, but this gave me an idea. I thought it would be cool to generate some structured data in our new flexible grid UI and use this as a chance to show you the power of this new UI and how it helps make working with AI easier for SEOs. Um, so let's come in here and just take a look at this. So I've got a grid set up. So I crawled my site. I crawled MetaMonster's website. I ran a prompt to generate a primary keyword for each page, secondary keywords, and then we've started to develop these templates. So I ran this template to extract structured schema markup from the provided HTML content. So when we crawl a site, we always capture the page content as both HTML and then convert it to Markdown to make it easier for AI to work with. But for a lot of stuff, you might want the actual HTML so that the LLM can detect tags and things like that. And so if we go back into our template here, it's extracting schema markup from the provided HTML, and then it is recording a schema type, a format, and one of the really cool things we let you do is structure your output so you can output things not just as text, but as like a single select, a multi-select, a date, a number, markdown, all sorts of things, and that'll control how the LLM spits text out, which is really helpful when you want to make the outputs more reliable. And so here I had it output the formats as a single select with different colors, and then the actual schema itself. And so you can see the results of that here. So we've got our schema type, we've got our format. It's showing none and no structured schema found for all of them because our site isn't well optimized and we don't have structured schema. So let's go and fix that. So we're going to come back in here into the enrich UI, and we're going to write our own enrichment. For context, we're going to set the HTML of the page, and we'll also set the page content, and let's grab the primary keyword too. And then we're going to come over here and grab this prompt that I've written ahead of time. And so this prompt is going to generate appropriate structured schema markup for the provided page content. It breaks down the task, common schema types, required elements, and then gives some example output formats, as well as some guidelines. And so our output column here is going to be schema. We'll just leave that as, I guess we could set it to JSON, but for right now, we'll just leave it as text, and we'll say, describe it, the structured schema output by the LLM. All right, and we're actually going to save this as a template. We're going to call it generate structured schema. We're going to say generate structured schema based on the provided page content and primary keyword. We'll set it to all sites so that we can use it on other sites moving forward. We're going to save that template, and then we're going to run our enrichment, and then we're going to let the LLM do its work. So it is in progress. There we go. And now in just a second, we'll start to see these appear here, see the generated schema appear. Within these cells, we can copy the contents of the cell. We can regenerate an individual cell. We can open the cell to inspect its contents. We can set cells to be editable or not editable. We can also come in here and rerun our enrichments and edit our enrichments. And we're going to be adding a lot more flexibility and power to this very, very soon. So you can see that The LLM is now going through, and for the page content for each page, it's generating structured schema that we can then copy and paste into our website and quickly generate structured schema for our website, so we can start showing up in AI overviews more consistently, and improve our overall search optimization. So hope this was helpful. Hope this shows you the power of this tool. And yeah, what do you want to see us do next?